Northside Talk TV. Yeah. So good afternoon. Today we're in the studio with Winston and Paul. Yeah, how you doing, Winston?
I'm good. I'm good. How
Yeah.
you Blocks?
How you doing, Paul?
Yeah, I'm very good to see you, sir.
All
Yeah,
right.
Paul.
Yeah.
I've not seen Paul for a long time. Where have you been hiding?
I've had to hide because I'm always making trouble, and so it takes me some time to lift my head up into the community.
Okay. Nice to see you anyway.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So Paul is the director of a very inspiring project that's encouraging our community to own its own businesses. So Paul, tell us what is your organization and what's the purpose? Just give us a rundown.
All right. So the organization is called Tyfdsai, a strange name, really, which we made up, if I'm completely honest,
Yeah.
from the acronym "Thank you for doing something about it." And my mother used to say things to me like, "Paul, why are you taking on Mossad and taking on people when you already have your business, you're already doing very well in life? Why are you taking on something where you know people are going to judge you and criticize you and you don't even need it?" And I said, "But Mom, something inside me tells me that we have to get over certain things." So Tyfdsai is a business organization set up just to encourage the community to own more businesses.
Yes.
And that's because there's a big problem out there. Every other community owns so many businesses, and we are just talking about why we can't get over things and why we can't do it. That's what Tyfdsai is.
You say we, as in the black community.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a bit challenging to define that, but people who look like me don't own any of the office blocks in Manchester City. Don't own any of the warehouses or factories. We don't own any of the mainstream franchises. I can't see a Subway or a KFC or a McDonald's that we can say, we came together as a community, just like every other community, and we own some.
Okay. So Tyfdsai, am I saying it correct?
Yeah.
Tyfdsai are doing something about it.
That's right.
Okay, so tell us, how is Tyfdsai doing something about it?
Okay, so I've got to first give a little caveat and say we're not really doing it well yet.
Yes.
We're still calling people to help us to do it well.
Yeah.
Because if I'm completely honest, I'm a little bit nervous still about coming out there in the community and saying, let's do something. Because whenever you do this, you put yourself out to get judged, to get criticized, all that kind of stuff. So you have to prepare yourself for that kind of weather of people's opinions. But essentially what we're saying is, listen, let's just put £2 a week into the same fund. And let's take a risk. Okay, there may be something not perfect about it. But, if we had 1,000 of us doing it, that's £2,000 a week. But I've got to be honest with you, I've got a lot of ambition. I believe that if the message is properly put across and the right people are in the right place, we could get 1 million of us putting £2 a week on the same table. That's my ultimate desire and vision, to see this £2 million coming into the black community, and we can sit back and say, all right, now we have something to argue about, and it's really about us creating the fund. So that's why Tyfdsai exists, to create the fund, not necessarily to control it or to own it. So we want to work with other organizations so they can control it and own it. We just want to create it because it's time we had this fund in the community, because every other racial group has sorted their act out.
So how would you distribute that fund? Like if you should get like a 2 million, how would you plan to spend it over the time by owning businesses?
Okay, so essentially we want the fund to buy businesses.
Yeah.
Initially, just so that we can feel the feeling that we can do it. Of course, we want profit from those businesses, but we first want to get over the barrier of us thinking we can't do it. And so the fund, at the moment, we don't have enough people in the organization yet to build all of the executive teams to decide what needs to be done. And that's one of the things we're hoping. People will, instead of judging us, they'll join us and come and try and help to strengthen the organization, strengthen our accountability, strengthen our financial practices, strengthen the legal structures.
Okay, Paul, so how do I become a part of this organization?
Okay. So if you go online and you just enter the website tyfdsai.org.uk.
Can you spell that for us?
So that's TYFDSAI. Remember the acronym. Thank you for doing something about it. .org.uk. And as soon as you get into the website, you're faced with that first page. You know, would you like to join us? Would you like to invest with us? Would you like to just be a member of the website to keep looking? Because we're not saying to everybody they can all afford the £2 a week.
Yeah.
In fact, we have another level for just £2 a month, less than 50 pence a week, because we have students that we want to join and people. Because the idea is to get many of us working together, or at least having a discussion about our financial future.
And, okay, so how is Tyfdsai held accountable for my money?
Oh, you know what? That's the question that frightens me the most, because I always believe that people are looking at you with a suspicion that you're not accountable. You know, and to a degree, they're right. We've not got everything perfect yet. We're still trying to put the right board together. We're still trying to put the right individuals. Recently, we had an international banker just joined us, which is really exciting. We've got a number of executives who've got the type of experience. But sometimes we're not always able to hold on to the talent when they come to join us. You know, because again, people are nervous. They think if they put their name to something where there's money involved, they might be putting their reputation at stake. So we tend to get good people join us, but then we lose them somewhere along the line because they get nervous as soon as somebody says,
This or that.
yeah, you know, we suspect that this might be happening, or we suspect that that might be happening. And so if I'm ever battling to get the right team together, my hope, you know, Winston, is to build a world-class leadership team once we get over these teething problems and become totally accountable. When you mention accountability, we use a phrase called the goldfish bowl auditing system. But if I'm honest, it doesn't exist yet. But it's what we're aspiring to. So we have an auditing system where every member can go online, open up the financial section and see exactly what's happening. But even more important than that, we want them to be able to have a say. Tyfdsai doesn't want to control the money per se. We just want to create an environment where we collect it and start to buy businesses. But we're a long way from having all of the talent that we need to get the job done.
So, Paul, how long has this initiative been going?
Do you know, I wish COVID never happened, because it would make it more interesting for me to answer that question.
Yeah.
But a year after we started to put the structures together, COVID happened and wiped out nearly 3 years of our development. So people might argue that we've been going for nearly 4 years, but in reality, we've had to start again because we just weren't able to carry out all the functions that we wanted to do. And to this day, we've still got probably less than 200 members because we haven't yet begun a major drive for membership. So
my question is, Paul, like, so as a member, how would they see the benefits from, like, being a member? Like, how do they come to own something? Like, how does it work? Percentage? How could you explain that a bit more so someone who wants to join, they know what they're coming into?
Okay. Well, thanks for that. You know, the question of what's in it for me, as always, dogged us, because if you're only putting in £2 a week into something, logic tells you that there can't be much in it for £2.
Exactly.
However, we know that people still want to see much, even if there's very little being put on the table. So we make available certain discounts and certain incentives. And in a while, I'm going to talk to you about one of our first initiatives. But some of the things that we do, like our online supermarket that we've launched called Share for All, we want members to be able to get special discounts from that. We also want to be able to give special discounts to any of the hotels that we might acquire, you know. But the main thing that we get, first of all, is a feeling of being in it, being one of the people who made it happen. But yeah, there is an opportunity for people to buy shares in some of the initiatives, but still we're working hard at getting that right. And people can buy shares, but and then get a dividend, as you would expect from shares. But we're still, sadly, working our way at getting people to move into the culture of investment, you know, because that's still a cultural shift that we've not yet done en masse. We know that lots of people in our community have started to invest in online, in crypto, and all kinds of things. But for us to do a collective investment as a community, boy, I'm looking forward to that.
So as Tyfdsai, how could I say it? So as a Tyfdsai, what has it achieved so far for you to tell us about? Like,
now, you see, you've set me up to answer this question now because that's my favorite question. You know, last June we had a big meeting on the Concorde, the aircraft at Manchester Airport, and boy, what an event it was. You know, we even had Bob Marley's granddaughter opening the event from Canada. You know, Donisha Pendergrass, and it was beautiful. Very aspirational event. People got to walk around Concorde and inside there on tour as well. And we were setting the scene that we want to take off. And we made a bold statement. You know, I must admit, sometimes I'm nervous even with a bold statement, and said, look, we are going to purchase the Shakespeare Hotel in the middle of Halifax in the theatre district this year. And I'm asking the members who are there to come together and just help us to make it happen. And I'm really pleased to tell you, Blacks, that on the 15th of August, I got the keys to the Shakespeare Hotel, a small, iconic, beautiful hotel in the middle of Halifax, next to the Victoria Theatre. And it's ours today as our first physical acquisition. It's small. It's not a big acquisition. It's just 7 bedrooms, but it has a restaurant and bar, and it's turning over £2,000 or £3,000 a week. So it's a small investment, but it's the beginning of a journey. That's what we've achieved so far. And today people can go online, go on Google the Shakespeare Hotel Halifax and see for yourself what people are saying. But we're really excited. We're proud.
Well, congratulations. I'm proud sitting here hearing about that. Okay, Paul, so what are the plans going forward? What are your long-term plans and your medium-term plans going forward?
I've got to learn to control myself a little because I'm a dreamer and I like to dream outside of my station.
Why not dream big?
And some dreams do come through, so nothing's wrong with dreaming,
So listen this, right? You heard this first on Moss I Talk TV, right? We declared that we were going to buy the Shakespeare Hotel on the Concorde last year, and we bought it 4 months later. Right here, we're now looking at a £1.5 million stately home outside Birmingham, with its own lake, woodlands, stables, 40-odd rooms, including 2 detached houses, a 4-bedroom and a 3-bedroom house. I think that we could buy that if we got our heads together. Definitely. If we could just get over the hesitancy. It's only 1.5 million. And, if we could get our heads together, we could manage it. And that's what I want to do. I want to aspire to a major acquisition outside Birmingham. Then we want to come back to Manchester for our next major purchase, and then go to London. We have to start believing. But in order to do that, honestly, I don't even think I'm the right guy to be the CEO of our organization. I'm just carrying the baby, the dream, the aspiration. But I believe out there's the right people who should be sitting alongside me and taking over and saying, listen, sure, me can do this job better than you. That's it. And then come and join us round the table. That's our biggest appeal. It's not even for members, because that will come. It's for people to join us to make the organisation strong.
The right people.
So Paul, do you have to live in Birmingham or London to be a part of this organisation?
No, most of our members so far are here in Manchester because that's our birthplace. Big up Manchester.
Every time.
Yeah. You know how many good things have started in Manchester? Even global industries and all kind of stuff have started right here in the Northwest. And this is where Tyfdsai is beginning to be birthed. We have our offices in Whalley Range on Withington Road. So we're not some online organisation that people can't find. If you go on our website, you'll see where we are and see who's involved, etc. But we also have members as far as Canada, and in other parts of the country. But the majority of our members are here in Manchester.
So, what has been your greatest challenge with the company?
You know, when you ask me about the greatest challenge, you ask a question that touches my heart, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because the biggest challenge is overcoming the amount of mistrust.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm looking into somebody's face when I'm talking to them, and I can see them looking back at me with mistrust.
Yeah.
And it's really painful.
Yeah.
It's like they don't understand. My business, my family business, is sponsoring Tyfdsai,
Yes.
paying for all its staff and offices, etc.
Yes.
But people look at me as though, no, I'm not doing that. I'm taking from them. You know, as though you're involved in some kind of something that should be questioned. And they are right, because we should always question things. We should hold each other accountable.
Yes.
But I know in my own heart of hearts that I have a dream to see us work together financially. And getting over the mistrust is the hardest thing. Getting over the negative comments, the things that people say and believe. When my mum was alive, bless her soul, she used to say, "Paul, me hear people have said this about you." And she said, "Me can't take it." And I used to say, "Mum, I'm sorry, I can't stop. It's in me to do. I have a vision to see something for our children where we are actually owning businesses and lifting up our heads and not being like everybody else, thinking, you know, looking at everybody else growing and we're just making excuses."
Yeah.
Every time the conversation comes up, people talk about the history and all the things that are against us.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, no, come on, guys. Let's talk about the future.
Yeah.
I respect our grandparents and our forefathers and all that they've done, but I want to live for our grandchildren.
Yes. That's the future.
Yeah.
Okay, Paul, with that being said, I want you to look in the camera and tell our viewers what you want them to do.
You know, if you were going to follow my lead today, my desire is for people to join. You know, to become an ordinary member, to put your £2 a week in, along with me and everyone else. Do you know that my subscription is also just £2 a week? We pay, it's £8.50 a month on a standing order. But there's other people who we ask just to put £2 a month in because they're not able to manage, because students or other low-income areas. So you can still be a member, even if you hardly have anything in your pocket. I'm asking you to join, to help us make it happen. And if you've got the skills and talent and time, can you give 2 hours a week to join something? Okay, I've got to say it's voluntary at the beginning. Everyone's just putting in for now. But I desperately want people who can bring a skill, marketing, IT, finance, legal, sales, you know, any skill you've got at all that you think, you know, I'd like to be part of that. The next year and a half is going to be all about building the team. And I'm hoping that some of you who are watching today will say, "Paul, I want to join this." You don't have to be in Manchester. Many of our meetings are held on Zoom. Thank God for Zoom. What a new room for us to go. Eh? My gosh. So, and wherever you are in the world as well, and you want to be a part of what we're doing, you know, just reach out to us. Let us know that you're there.
So just a quick one, Paul. It might show everyone in, just for understanding's sake. Who are we talking to? Is it just our people, or is it just anyone as individual? Because most people will be watching and thinking, okay, you're saying us over the years struggling, whatever, trying to own our own businesses, which is the aging community might not see. So who is it? Is it just us, or is it just anyone? Like, could you explain that a bit more?
You know, thanks, Black, for asking that question. Because the world has changed.
Yes.
And we're not all living in isolation of each other racially.
No.
So even though we call our society multicultural,
Yes.
and I've got to say to you, Tyfdsai is multicultural
Okay.
in the context that we live in a multicultural community.
Yes.
However, the black community, and I'm looking at mainly African and Caribbean people,
Yes.
right, have not made the same advances as other racial groups.
Exactly.
So we're really talking about that group,
Yes.
but we're saying anybody who wants to join us to assist us in making that happen are welcome. There's no bar here for people just because of their racial differences.
Okay.
You know, it's just that we are dealing with an issue
Yes.
about inequality, about one racial group.
Yes.
And if you want to help us in the fight, bring it on.
Okay, again, just for clarification, I love the idea. If I want to put more than £2 a week in, am I open to do that?
Now, don't get me excited now, Winston, because yes, the answer is yes, of course. People can buy shares. Shares are £100 each.
Okay.
But we don't start there because we don't want people to think we're just there to collect their money. You're more important to us than your money. That's our bottom line.
Just the members.
However, the money helps. It helps me. It brings us closer to our £1.5 million to buy that stately home, you know, that we're looking at, which is a hotel. It's a beautiful place. We'll be able to have conferences and all sorts of things there. So yeah, people can buy shares. They can buy shares straight offline as well. You know, their facilities already there to either join and become a member or invest in buying shares. But our priority, I must say, isn't the amount of money you put in. It's the fact that you put yourself in and be one. We call it 1 in a million.
Yeah.
So I'm inviting people to become 1 in a million. And don't think that just because I'm 1 in a million, I'm not significant. We need 1 million of us to feel significant.
And someone have to lead the way, Paul, and we appreciate you for that. And I can see the goal you're trying to achieve. And I really think it needs someone like yourself, like I said, to lead the way, you know, and try and see the race achieve.
I think it's very brave of you. It's very courageous for you to put yourself forward. You know,
It's just
You know something, Winston. It's a passion. It's more than just an achievement. Because I'm running a business and I'm not being boastful. We turn over £1 million a year and I employ 40 odd staff. So I'm not hungry for something personally to give me a wage.
yeah.
But one day, the former president of Zambia, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, summoned me to his office in London because he'd heard of the vision of the precursor organization, which I'd be happy to talk about another time.
Yeah.
But he felt that these kind of ideas needed to be global. And he even muted the idea of taking me to meet Nelson Mandela. Of course I was scared. I thought, what? I'm in the wrong place here. And those things are in my soul. So this thing is driven by something deeper than just a desire for personal success.
okay, Paul, thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's look forward to seeing what Tyfdsai do moving forward. Thank you for coming in to speak to us.
Yes, Paul. It's a
my
pleasure. Always, man. Keep doing the good work, you know.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. Must I Talk TV, please.
And in conjunction with Shah Drama.
Shah Drama Studio, like and share. Check out Shah Drama Studio online. Yeah. So you don't know. Yeah.
And don't forget to go over to Masai TV, like, share. Likewise, Shah Drama. Let's go over, subscribe, like, share.
Yeah.
We'll be doing more of this.
Yeah, man, definitely.
And I'm looking for your name coming up on our website as a new member.
All right. Thank you. Take care. Out.